This is electrical installation and maintenance in the new normal. As mentioned in the presentation, our learning competency is select the wiring devices used for floor and ground fault current interrupter. In this webinar, we shall focus on the basic steps in house wiring. But before we go on, let us read and interpret the problem as it was given in the presentation. Install a bulb connected in a circuit breaker controlled by a single pole switch. The way how to solve the given problem in the presentation using the contextualized learning techniques in the new normal. Before working on the task, let us have the materials that we are going to use as well as the possible replacement that will be useful in order to accomplish the task. These are the tools needed. We have the screwdriver. I have with me a 2-in-1 screwdriver in which there are two slots. One is for the Phillips screwdriver and the other one is for the flat screwdriver. Now, I will just insert it in the handle, so I can use whatever is needed, whether it is flat or Phillips. A long nose plier used for looping the end of wire. A side cutting plier. I have here with me a lamp holder or a receptacle with a 3-volt flashlight bulb. As I was saying, we shall be solving the problem using the contextualized learning technique in the new normal. I have here with me 2 AA size battery and a gauge 21 auto wire which will be used as our electrical wire. A substitute for this auto wire may be the insulated spring of our old notebooks, a battery holder, a wood screw, and a bolt and nut with a washer to be used for as terminal or the connection terminal for each end of wire. Now, if you will be using much thicker board, you can replace this bolt and nut with a common wire nail, whatever size will be, but not that bigger size. Number 2 or number 1 or 1 1/2 size of a common wire nail will do. Okay, let us begin with our process. I have here with me a working board for you to see how the problem will be solved and how problem will be solved. Okay. Now, on the board is a receptacle, an imaginary junction box, and the imaginary utility box with the terminal on with the terminal inside. And then I have here with me a recycled battery holder of a used toy which will serve as the circuit breaker of the entire installation process. Now, the first thing that we have to do is to remove the insulator on both ends of the wire connected in the battery holder. This battery holder here, which will be serving as the circuit breaker, will be called now as source. Either of these two lines connected in this battery holder may be called as line 1 and line 2 of the source. So, let us have this as line 1 of the source and the other one is the line 2 of the source. Now, the first process will be what? Using our long nose plier, because the insulator of the wire connected in the battery holder is removed. Let us make a loop with the end of the wire using our long nose plier. The loop must be going rightward or in its clockwise movement. Then, let us insert it in the terminal. Then, tighten the screw using our finger. Then, to make sure that there will be no loss connection, let us use our long nose plier. Now, same with the line 2. So, we can see now that line 1 of the source is connected to the terminal allotted for that line, and line 2 is now connected to the other terminal, and they are both fastened to ensure that there will be no loss connection. Okay, after doing that, let us now connect, or let us now remove the insulator of the end of the auto wire. Then, make a loop. Kailangan, kapag ka ibinaluktot po natin yung dulo ng ating wire at i-insert natin sa screw, ang paluwag po ng screw ay pakaliwa. So, pakanan po yung magiging higpit. Dapat po, pakanan din yung magiging baluktot o loop ng end ng wire. Para po kapag hinigpitan natin yung screw, masisiguro po natin na susunod sa paghigpit yung ating wire. Mula po sa terminal noong receptacle, sukatin po natin yung unang terminal na pinagkabitan nung tinatawag nating line 1 of the source. So, magpapasobra po tayo ng kapiraso at saka po natin tatanggalin yung insulator. Pag natanggal po natin ang insulator, sa pamamagitan po ng tulong ng ating mga daliri at kamay, ibaluktot po natin using the clockwise movement yung wire na nakasobra para po maging koneksyon. This is to show that there is now a connection. This terminal, this bolt and screw being used, shows that there will be connection inside the junction box, because any wire that passes through the junction box will or must have or must be connected. So, the process will now be called as, based on the basic step in house wiring, line 1 of the source is connected to line 1 of the load. The next step will be line 2 of the load. So, in order to perform that number 2 step, line 1 of the load, let us remove the insulator of one end of the auto wire. make a loop, and then insert it in the slot of the screw. Okay? Pag naipaloob na po natin siya, yung dulo po ng wire, pigain natin using our long nose plier, and then fasten the screw. There, after fastening the screw, okay, from this line 2 of the load going to this terminal, let us measure, then let us cut. Okay. Kaya po natin pinasosobrahan yung sukat natin is for us to make a turn of our auto wire in the terminal. Because if we perform it in the real house wiring installation, there must always be an excess of wire inside this junction box and this utility box, and the excess measurement must be 5 to 7 inches, which is intended for what? That 5 to 7 inches allowance in the measurement is intended for splicing. So, ibig pong sabihin, yun po yung ating gagamitin na preference. Magkakaroon po tayo ng karagdagang sukat na o may pasobrang sukat na 5 hanggang 7 inches or 7 pulgada. No, 5 to 7 inches. Kasi po, yun nga po, katulad nung sinabi ko, para sa splicing or for future repair. Kasi po, kung minsan nagkakaroon ng problema, so there will be an excess length of wire for us to make a repair. So, the first step is line 1 of the source is connected to line 1 of the load. Line 2 of the load is connected to terminal 1 of the switch. Now, after this, terminal 2 of the switch is connected to where? Saan natin idudugtong ngayon? So, remove the insulator. Then, ensure that there will be no loose connection, and whenever you remove the insulator of each wire, be sure that you keep the remove insulator para po mapanatili natin yung kalinisan ng ating workplace. Now, this will be the last process or the last step. Alright? Remove the insulator on the other end of the auto wire, then make a turn. Okay? After finishing, then let us have the summary now of the 3 steps involved in what? The basic of house wiring. So, line 2 of the source is connected to line 2 of the switch is connected to line 2 of the source. So, this will now be the first step. Let me repeat. Line 1 of the source is connected to line 1 of the load. Line 2 of the load is connected to terminal 1 of the switch, and terminal 2 of the switch is connected to line 2 of the source. Now let us have a short wire which will be connected to line 2 of or terminal 2 of the switch. Then let us fasten the wire. Then let us put the flashlight bulb on the receptacle. Let us have the battery on, or let us put the battery on the battery holder and then check. Okay, we can see that the bulb is giving light now. All right, use the other bulb to check. Okay, so meaning there is now continuity. Now on this process, we shall disregard the polarity of the battery. But then to make sure, let us have once again, line 1 of the source is connected to line 1 of the load. Line 2 of the load is connected to terminal 1 of the switch. Terminal 2 of the switch is connected to line 2 of the source. This is now the basic of house wiring, or the basic steps in house wiring. Maraming salamat po, at sana mayroon kayong natutuhan kahit papaano sa ating ginawang trabaho.